Hello and welcome to the final episode of Among the Sleep, where last time we finished the Forested House level, and we played through the Into the Closet level, and ended the game. And today, we're going to be starting up the bonus level, which is the Prologue, a DLC, I think it was free, released about a year after the game came out, that fills in some gaps that the story left unanswered, and gives us a complete picture of what's really going on in this game. So, I was pretty light on my thoughts on the story last time, because I didn't want to talk about it without knowing all the details, so, without you guys knowing all the details, I should say. So let's just jump right into it. Controls are all the same, of course. And as you can see, it's the prologue, meaning it takes place before the rest of the game. But we're playing it last, because if you played it first, it'd kind of spoil everything. And we're already starting in a drastically different environment than what we're used to. Oh, did not intend to clip into the snow there. Can I do it again? No. Looks like it was a one-time thing for me clipping into the snow back there. Hey, everybody. How you guys doing? Oh. Alright, cool. Looks like that does a not well then. I will accept that answer as an indication that you are indeed not doing very well. We've awoken on quite the frigid night here in our room. Alright, let's try to get out of this crib. There we go. I guess there was only one specific spot that I could climb out of the crib. Weird. Ah, well.
Cold. So cold.
Hang in there, buddy. I'll warm you up. You just gotta shut the door real quick. Really janky controls. There. It's alright, pal.
Please. More warm. More happy.
You're alright, pal.
Safe. Thank you. Monsters don't like happy.
So you may notice a lot of familiar items here. Music box, penguin poster, crib. Obviously the building blocks. A lot of familiar faces here. But not quite the same familiarity can be associated with the room. And of course, what would an Among the Sleep level be without drawings? Oh, also, obviously we no longer have Teddy, because this takes place before we got Teddy as a birthday present, so we don't have a get-out-of-jail-free card when it comes to being able to see what's going on and light up the world, so it's not going to be as much of a cakewalk as it was last time. And I should also, gentle reminder, I don't actually know this all that well. Like, this level is one that I'm pretty unfamiliar with, so it's going to be a bit of a learning experience as far as what I actually have to do to get through this. Actually, it might just be as simple as, okay, I think it might have just been as simple as I had to take the owl before.
Hiding. Oh, scared. Please, help them.
You say that as if I'm any less scared than they are. Now then, I know that there are some friends waiting for us. We'll find them eventually. Whoop! Yep. And the monster's already on the hunt. The monster is already on the hunt. Okay, you went that way. So I should be safe to come in here, I think. Maybe, I'm not sure. I think I'm safe in here. And look, a drawing. So I guess I can talk a bit more openly about what's going on in the story. But, obviously that's not our mom. Obviously, we are in a different house than we were in the main game. And that creature does not quite look the same as the creature we're used to seeing. Because it's not the same creature we're used to seeing. That's our dad, as opposed to our mom from the main game. And we will be seeing more of those sort of hologram flashbacks as we navigate the house. And I don't believe the monster is anywhere nearby, so I think I'm safe. Well, I guess I can't reach that, but it's alright. It's alright. Just keep moving. Bloop! Don't know where that was.
Happy, please. More happy.
Okay, I think I'm safe for the time being. I think I escaped him for now. Alright, first things first. Close the damn window. And that looks like a VHS tape. Oh, right, I gotta do that to put it in. Alright, we safe? We are safe. Does the monster come in after I take you? Doesn't look like it. Every step you take could very well be your last. But yeah, as you might have been able to get. How did I survive that? He was right there. He was like an inch in front of me. How did I survive that? I actually lack any understanding of how I'm still alive right now. Okay, you just gonna chill there? You wanna move, buddy? Okay, that's cool. That's actually completely chill, actually. You stay right there, pal. More memories popping up. I'm not sure if I can get to the rest of the house without getting around. I think there are other ways that I can get to the other rooms without needing to cross that hall. I keep saying hologram. That's not a hologram. That's just a monster. The holograms are the memories. Speaking of memories.
Help, please.
Okay. So this window I gotta get up there to close.
Please. Help.
I'm a lot more on edge than I was previously because this level is the one I have the least. I think I said the same thing for the last level of the main game, but this one I have double the lack of knowledge of. Can I get up there from there? Let's find out. That's a solid no. That's gonna be a solid nope. Fortunately, I think I can move the chair, so let's move it. I'm keeping a keen ear out for footsteps, but I'm starting to wonder if he actually is just stuck there. Because I can't...
Cold. So cold.
I have no way to explain how I'm still alive right now, other than that the game simply glitched. And I just got lucky. And that he's just stuck there forever. So...
Please. More happy.
Don't like the sound of things breaking. I'm very uncertain. Okay, I think his AI is fixed now. I think his AI is now fixed. Because I'm pretty sure I just heard footsteps.
Thank you.
Yeah, come here, pal. I'm almost positive I heard his footsteps. I think that's the hall he was trapped in, so I'm pretty sure he's gone now. Yeah, I think he's gone. Of course, that raises the question of where he is now. You know, I think I preferred it when I knew exactly where he was. I honestly looked at that desk, or that whatever. I thought the leg of that was the leg of the monster. Okay, yep, definitely preferred it when he was stuck in place and I knew exactly where. Oh. Guess I can't get up there, so I guess we'll go exploring a different way for now. Is this a door? Yes, it is. Okay. New door. Open. Please. I like new doors. New doors are nice. That light was worthless. That light you may as well have not even turned on at all, honestly. No. Definitely don't like the scratch marks on the floor.
Help me. Hurry.
Oh, this. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, I think this, that urgency makes me think this is a time thing where I have a certain amount of time to do something while the lights are out. So let's hope that I can get in here. This is probably a death. I think I did this wrong. Yep, this is probably me dead.
Help.
Hold on. I gotta get something over here. Probably. What's over here? I don't know. What? Oh, window. Right, duh, window. To thaw this. And then that'll probably let me move the laundry basket. So I can climb up on top of the thing. Or maybe not. Okay, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Light switch. Light switch. We're fine. Alright, I can't move this. So what can I move? Oh, but there's a... light. There's a stool right here. There's a stool right here that I missed. Okay. I know what I gotta do now. Drag the stool. Drag the stool. Drag the stool. Drag the stool. Drag faster than that, please. Take a break. Play it safe. I don't know what happens. I honestly don't know what happens. I don't know if that's just to scare me or if there's legitimate danger involved in me in that Home Alone style basement furnace thing. Opening. Oh, that is crap. That's crap. I just turned. I deliberately did that so that I could reset the timer for the lights. Evidently, the timer is crap. Okay, cool. Hey, gotcha. You're mine.
Thank you.
Alright. We got... Stop doing that. I don't like it when you do that. I don't like it when you do that. Do not like it when you kill the lights like that. Makes me feel very uncomfortable. I don't like those shadows either. So, I'm not sure if the upstairs area is just gonna... Oh, I don't think I didn't see that. Don't think I didn't see that shit. Open, 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 open. Okay. I think that's the sound of the door upstairs just magically opening. Sure is. That's exactly what that was. This is a lot creepier than I thought. Well, actually, no, it's exactly as creepy as I remembered it being. Because I know nothing about this house's layout is not baked into my brain. So this is all completely new to me. Keep going. I still don't know if he's... I still have no clue if the dad is actually still soft locked down there or if I'm assuming he's freed. Pretty sure I've heard his footsteps. But you can never be too sure. In here? Maybe something in here? Anything? Hold on, I'm sure there's something in here. There wouldn't be this series of things to climb if there wasn't anything useful up here. Hey, please let me climb. So when I hear things... Okay, looks like... You can kind of hear their dialogue in the distance. In case you couldn't hear it, it was the dad asking the mom if there was gin on her breath. Okay, this one was surprisingly easy to find. Oh, right, okay, yeah, I remember this now. Because this forces us to get outside to get the last one. That's why it was...
You have no idea what you're talking about. I can manage on my own.
So that hologram right there is the main reason why I wanted to wait to talk about the story until I did this. Because that one hologram has sparked a lot of conversation about this game. But I'm sure at this point it's pretty clear as to what's going on. It's also why there was a whole bunch of moving or just boxes, I guess, all over the house in the main game. Because we were recently moved in. Anyway, we've got a toy to find. No toy gets left behind on my watch. And now, we're back to the beginning of the prologue. We're trudging through the snow. Trying to track down our lost stuffed animal companions. Which is pretty easy considering that their tracks lead us right to them. Hey, pal. Gotcha. Or not.
It's too much.
So like I said, pretty short, but pretty important. Because that hologram of the dad raising his hand above the mom as she's cowering on the ground. Some people think that he was about to strike the mom. Some people think that the dad was trying to take a bottle out of her hand. And honestly, I'm undecided as to which one it actually is. I don't know that there's enough evidence either way to confirm or deny whether he's abusive to her in that way. Because what this prologue is trying to show is that it's more complicated than just the mom's alcohol problems. Because obviously, what happened at that house was eventually too much for her, and then she ended up packing up her stuff and leaving away and taking the kid with her. But the context of the story changes significantly if it's the case of both of them having problems that needed to overcome, where it's not just an alcoholic mother who's abusive, but it's also a father who's abusive for one reason or another, or if it is just black and white. Because the main game kind of plays into the trope that the game wants you to think that the father's abusive and the mom wants to keep him away, which is why at the beginning it tries to fake you out with the dad showing up and the mom telling him to piss off, and then that staticky noise comes in. When in reality, what was actually going on was that it was the mother that was an alcoholic parent who was neglectful of her child, which is why at the end she shoves him away, and that's why all those horrors keep coming to the kid's head. So let me know what you think in the comments, based on the holograms you saw, whether you think the dad was abusive to the mom, or if you thought that was just some other thing, like trying to take the bottle away, or something to that effect. Yeah, I wanted to wait till we got to that point before I started talking about the story as a whole. So I guess now I can kind of talk about the symbolism of the story as a whole. First thing to draw attention to is the bear. The bear is obviously supposed to be symbolic of the father. It's why I'm pretty sure they're voiced by the same person. Or if they're not, they're voiced by people that sound very similar, because that's what they're trying to go for. It's the teddy bear's voice almost sounds like a voice the dad would put on to try to be playful with his kid. It's why the mother doesn't want the bear. Why she, as the monster, is trying to take the bear away in that final level, and why she is so reluctant when she looks into the present and see what it is at the beginning of the game, because it's just a reminder of the dad that she doesn't want to be there. It's also why the bear tells the kid, or tells the player, if you ever feel scared, hug me tightly, it might make you feel better. Because what that's implying is that on those nights when the mom would go into a drunken rage, the bear would always, or the dad was someone that he could always go to. Or actually, I don't think they ever explicitly confirm the gender. I'll say they. Every time their parent, or every time their mom goes on a drunken rage, they can always go to their dad for support during those nights. Now, the thing there is obviously that it depends on whether the dad is supposed to be abusive or not. I think no matter what, it's clear that the dad is not abusive to the kid. I think that is clear. I think it's because they like I said, they're playing it. They want you to think initially that is the case, and then it's real in the end that it's not the case. So I don't think that the dad is supposed to be abusive to the kid, and because of that, I'm more willing to believe that what they're showing us in that flashback isn't the dad being about to attack the mom. It is something like either just a gesture, because there's either just a gesture with his hand being very expressive in the heat of the moment because he's trying to defend his son and get his son away from her, or trying to pull a bottle away, whatever the case may be. I think that's something. It's something to that effect that they're going for. What ultimately the prologue ends up showing is that the mother ends up taking the kid into custody for herself, which, as far as we know, is not exactly what should have happened there, and it's implied at the end of the main game that the dad ends up getting custody of the kid full time, which is how it should be. It's really hard to talk about this when we don't know all the facts. We can only go based on what we know from the game. Based purely on what we know from the game, I think it's safe to say that the kid is in much better care in the dad's hands than in the mom's hands, because based on how we've seen the two of them act, I think that speaks for itself. There's something to be said there about custody battles in the real world and how sometimes the person who deserves care of the kids doesn't always end up actually getting it because of varying circumstances. So there's definitely something to be said there, but without going too much into the meta aspect of it, if you want to just keep it limited to the game itself, to kind of develop further what I was talking about last time with the symbolism of everything and how this game does a much better job of communicating the whole imagination aspect. So, like I mentioned, there is a narrative going on outside the dream. It's not just the dream world, and then you come back to the real world and suddenly nothing actually happened. Here, the horrors in the kid's imagination and the horrors of the real world are directly intertwined with one another, because the events of the main game are born out of the child's imagination, and all the horrific things you have to go through are... Everything you experience is just a warped and exaggerated version of the horrors of his actual family life. It's why all the drawings, if you've been paying attention to the drawings, you can... I didn't find them all, so maybe you didn't get the full picture, but you can kind of see... Some of them are more blatant than others, like some of them will literally show the kid split between the two parents. Some of them are a bit more abstract, but generally what they were showing is the mother slowly becoming a monstrous figure in the child's life. And then the paintings in the forested house will show they show the dad kind of distancing himself from the mom. They show the mom vanishing from the kid's life, like in the sort of multi-stage portraits on the wall. You would see maybe the kid and their mother reading together, and then the closer you get, the further away the mom gets before just vanishing entirely. You would also see things like the mother drinking from a well, showing that the kid understands on some level that whatever's happening to their mother, it's because she's drinking something that's turning her into this creature that they don't even recognize, which is also why I mentioned that there were two figures in the last episode. There were technically three. There was the figure at the beginning of the game in the first chapter that we saw again today. That's supposed to be the dad, but I only referenced two because the main monster that's chasing you the whole time is just the mom, which is why I call attention to that. And the mom takes two forms. Takes the form of the swamp monster, which is obviously the one that we encountered in the swamp in the forested house, and then the trench coat version. And there are very important distinctions between those two, because the swamp monster is supposed to represent the mom when she's in a drunken state, which is also why she never actually chases down the player. It's only if she sees the child that she tries to essentially get him to go away. Whereas the trenchcoat version will actively hunt down the player, especially if a bottle is broken, because obviously the trench coat is basically metaphor for representing how the mom is in a hangover state. Like, that's her recovering from a hangover, which was making her more vulnerable to, or more susceptible to being set off by something like breaking a bottle. And that's also the version that is most obscured visually. All you see is just the two little lights popping out of the neck hole of the coat, because at that point the child doesn't even recognize his mom anymore. And you didn't get to see this, because I only died to the trench coat monster. I never died to the swamp monster. I kind of wish I died on purpose just so I could show this later. But the swamp monster, when you die by the hands of the swamp monster, it's a very violent death. You can see yourself being shaken around a lot. Whereas with the trench coat monster, you notice nothing really happened to us. It was much more relaxed and much calmer, which is the difference between when she's actually in that drunken state and when she's not. And there's a lot of stuff that I could go through the whole game pointing out a bunch of little moments of symbolism like that. But the last thing I'll say is that the way the game ends with the kid going off to live with his father, and as he gains full custody of the child, the way what you're doing throughout the game is you are finding down memories of happy times with your mother, and you are getting rid of them, essentially. We don't hold on to them anymore. We have to let go of the memories in order to progress through each level of the game. And the reason why we're doing that is because we're letting go of those memories so that it's easier to let go of that life with her, and that there's no conflicting emotions of what's going on there. So yeah, there's a lot to break down. Obviously, people have had plenty of online discourse about what this game means and all the different symbolism. There's plenty of different interpretations people have of a bunch of different things, but the core of the story is still there, of an alcoholic mother who is neglectful of her child, and just a failed relationship, and the horrors that a child, especially a young child at that age, goes through in situations like this. And it's a really clever story. The one main thing that I don't feel particularly, I think I've convinced myself, right, because I haven't engaged in Among the Sleep discourse, and well, really ever. I haven't ever talked to really anybody about this game, because no one I know has ever played this game. But I think I've just, prior to this point, I was really unconvinced either way of whether the dad was abusive or not. I think just talking right now about the whole story, I think I've talked myself into believing that that what they were trying to show there wasn't that he was abusive, just that they were showing the difficulties of the relationship and what led the mother to do what she did, and showing it's a complicated situation. But I don't think it was trying to go to that extreme with showing that about the father. Because if that is the case, it kind of cheapens the main story a little bit. A lot more things fall into place logically if that is the case, as opposed to him being abusive. But that's all for now. That is Among the Sleep, finished in its entirety. I love this game. It is a fantastic horror experience. A bit short, but I think it makes the most of its time. I will say, gameplay-wise, the prologue, I'm not too thrilled about some of the stuff there. It's fine, but like the section in the basement, I guess, with the stupid Home Alone furnace thing was kind of silly. But I guess that's a weak criticism. But I don't know. It didn't feel like it had the same care that got put into the rest of the game. And it also was kind of unfortunate. I really should have died today. I should have died when I came face to face. I thought I was dead when I literally walked right into the dad, and then he just didn't kill me. But I just got lucky, and he just soft locked himself somehow. Don't know how that happened, but it just did, I guess. But yeah, great horror experience from start to finish. Great gameplay, great level design. Little jank with the actual controls of grabbing onto things, and the story is top-notch stuff. I'm still not willing to put it in my top 20 games of all time, but it's still up there. It is still a phenomenal experience that I recommend all of you go check out. Granted, if you made it to this point, you've already experienced the story, but still, I think the horror and the dread you feel is something you can only experience by playing it for yourself. You can't get that through a Let's Play. Especially when you can just easily look away from the screen and not really worry about what the Let's Player is going through, but I digress. Oh, and there's also a museum you can check out where there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff about the development of the game if you want to check out. And you know what? I'll leave that for you to discover on your... there you go. That gives you a reason to check out the game for yourself. To play through it, to unlock the museum, and check out all that behind-the-scenes stuff if you're interested. Because there's a lot of cool stuff in there. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I've talked for long enough. Thank you all for watching my Let's Play of this game. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing me experience Among the Sleep. One last thing, I guess I can also mention that you can change your pajama color. If that's something that interests you, you got red, yellow, blue, bear, pink, purple, rainbow. The blue, this is the original color. I prefer bear. I think I mean, you never see yourself, but, you know, it's a nice little bit of customization. Oh, and if you want, you can also play the game with the commentary track enabled, which I highly recommend you do, because that stuff is always interesting to listen to. But that is where I'm going to stop today. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for, I guess, whatever... Stay tuned for my next big project, Let's Play, whatever that may be. I know what it is, but actually, should I give a hint? Should I give a hint as to what the next Let's Play should be? Should I do that? Yeah, I'll do it, why not? One of my next Let's Plays that'll be starting up next week has to do with something happening in January. That's all I'll say. That's very vague, I know, but you gotta keep it vague somehow, and I'll give a hint for another one of my Let's Plays starting next week when Rush finishes up tomorrow. Okay, let's finally end the video. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for next time, and hope to catch you all soon for the start of my next Let's Play, or tomorrow for a Rush Disney Pixar adventure, or just whatever you decide to watch next. Goodbye.